One story. The nightmare that began in our new home. My girlfriend and I had just moved into our dream home. We had our rescued cat, Bella, and everything seemed perfect. The only problem was the unfinished, abandoned house to our right. There was no fence between the gardens. The previous owner had started renovating it but abandoned the project. On our first night, while sitting in the backyard, we saw a man watching us from the window of one of the houses behind us. He stared at us for half an hour in a dark room with an expressionless face. He didn't take his eyes off us until we went inside. A few days later, while we were in the backyard again at night, we heard a wooden noise. 3 men had entered the yard. One of them offered us stolen dishwasher tablets. I jokingly declined, but what was truly terrifying was that they considered it normal to trespass into our yard. Over time, these men started coming more frequently. They would remove the fence to enter the abandoned house and try to scare us with their behavior. We were both 20-year-old women, and we felt we were being specifically targeted. One day the police came. The men living in the house behind us were kicked out because they were causing problems in the neighborhood. We were relieved, but that's when the real nightmare began. One day, while I was in the bathroom, there was a loud bang from outside. My girlfriend was filming a man through the window. The man pointed to our window, then ran and tried our doorknob, entered the abandoned house, and started banging on the windows. We called the police, but it didn't stop. Whistling and banging on the window started at night. One night, the camera recordings were deleted, and the door camera's SD card was stolen. The police said it might have been planned. We lived in fear for weeks. One night, we saw a man in a black mask on the camera. He had his arms outstretched, looking at our house. He waited on the opposite sidewalk for half an hour. The police closed the case, saying, "Just looking isn't a crime." The final blow came in the early morning. 2 masked men, one with a crowbar and the other with flashlights, were shining their lights on our windows. They are still watching us, and we live in fear every night. Story 2. Unfamiliar faces but the same words. 3 months ago, I broke up with my manipulative boyfriend, Caleb. I changed my number, moved, and deleted social media. Then strange things started. In a cafe, a barista called me by the nickname my ex-boyfriend used to give me. An Uber driver repeated the phrase he used to say to me. The market, the street, the apartment building. Different people but the same expressions. They were repeating my ex-boyfriend's words word for word. I learned he was in rehabilitation, without a phone. He couldn't do it, but someone else was. One night, on my way home, a man said, "It's a cold night, isn't it, my sunshine?" The next day, I found a note under my doormat. Even if you change your face, I'll recognize you. I stayed at a hotel. My door was knocked on at night. There were empty rooms in the hallway, but an expressionless woman was waiting at my door. That's when I understood. Someone was using people against me, manipulating them to say my ex-boyfriend's words. It's like he's still in my life. I moved, I dyed my hair, but last week a woman whispered as she passed by, "Are you still hiding behind books, my sunshine?" I can't trust anyone anymore. Story 3. The Lakeside Airbnb Nightmare. We rented an Airbnb by a lake in Michigan as a family. There were 18 of us. The main house was great, but some cousins and I stayed in the old garage at the back. The place was dirty, neglected, and creepy. I went up and down while washing the sheets at night. Around 3 a.m., there was a huge blow to the garage door. Then another, then another. When my uncle went outside, he saw a man standing behind the garage. He wasn't hiding, he was just looking. When he called out to him, he walked away and disappeared. No footsteps, no trace. A Joker card with a devil's face was found in the house. Some people thought it was paranormal. The next night, someone walked across the veranda and tried to force open the basement door, but no one was found. We cut short our planned vacation and fled. The landlord said he would review the security camera footage. But we never heard from him again. Common points. The couple living in the new house, the woman being followed by unfamiliar faces, and the family by the lake. It all seemed like 3 different incidents. but in reality, they were all parts of the same thing. One of the girls in the new house started writing about her experiences anonymously on a horror forum because the police weren't doing anything. She wanted to document the events. A few hours after posting, she received a private message. It's not just one person watching you. At first, she thought it was just a troll, but the message continued. The night you saw the man in the black mask. In another city, a woman saw a man striking the same pose at the same time. That woman was the woman from the second story.